What is up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through three of the bike modifications that I've done to my bike to help me with my riding. So check it out. So the first modification I made is with the bottom bracket. Since I ride brakeless, when I do tail whips and stuff, I want my cranks to be stiff so when I catch my pedals, they don't move out of the way. So what I've done is I put a rubber washer in between the cone spacer and the bearing of the frame, and what that does is that creates friction which doesn't allow the cranks to move as freely. This rubber washer is like pretty old, so I picked up a new one and I'm going to show you how to install it and how to make it good. So what you want to do is go to Ace Hardware and pick up one of these bad boys. They're in the plumbing aisle. They're really cheap. I think this is like $1. What you want to look up or find at Ace is rubber washer stock number 61274B. If not, if you can't find this exact one, you're just going to want one that looks like this big, has a big hole in the middle where your spindle will go, and is large enough to fit like the diameter of the cone spacer of your bottom bracket. Alright, so to do this, all you're going to need is your little Allen key, take off your crank arm, your rubber washer, and scissors. So first off, take off your crank arm. Dropped it. Alright. Remove your crank. For me, I have a 19mm titanium spindle, so it's pretty small. Just take off your bracket, and then see, here's the old one that I had, and as you can tell, it's kind of beat up, but it worked. Alright, so now what you want to do is you want to put it on, and you'll notice that it's not like completely snug to the spindle. There's like a little bit of wiggle room. So what you want to do is take one of your old little spacers and put that down the spindle, and then that will fill up that space, that little gap right there, and you just kind of have to make it fit. Alright, so now it fits in there snug, and then you'll take your the cap, slam that in there, take your old spacer, put it there, and now you're not done because obviously you have like all this extra out here and you don't want that, you want it to be looking good. So just put your crank on there, go like this, tighten it up. Alright, so then you want it nice and snug, and then you're going to take your handy dandy scissors and then just cut around it. Now this rubber's really thick, so like obviously it's going to take a little bit. So then you're just going to want to rotate it around so you can cut it and make it kind of flush with your bottom bracket so it's looking good. Like that. Rotate it again. A little bit more left. I'm just going to take off the crank. Now this is like, I'm doing this pretty fast. You obviously want to take your time with it and make it nice and flush, but I'm not too concerned with how it looks. Just as long as it's out of the way and kind of looking decent, then I'm happy with it. And just get that piece that was hiding behind the crank. Alright, so now that I've taken off like all this like excess that was hanging around, it's nice and flush with the frame and the spacer, and you can barely tell it was there. But you're not done. You still need to do one more thing to it. Now that it's like looking good, what I do, now you take this back off. Spacer that you had hiding in there, putting that. Put this back on here, kind of flush it, and then just hold it to where you want it to be. And make sure when you're doing this you line up your cranks right, because you don't want to have wonky cranks. Boom. So now, cranks are level, put your bolt back in, and just tighten it to as much. There you go. And now your cranks are tight, and it feels good. So obviously with this, when you do this mod, crank flips are out of the question. But who likes crank flips anyway? So now that's right where I want it. And yeah, so that's the first modification you do. Really simple, really easy, and yeah, it's the best solution to like crank spinning when you do tail whips and all that. Oh, there's my face. The second modification I do to my bike is I put grip tape on the top of my cranks. What this does is whenever I hit cranks or like catch cranks, it helps me from sliding off and then falling and slipping crank arm. Why isn't it unfocused? Now, focus. So when you have this grip tape on top of the cranks, what it does is helps you from slipping off the crank whenever you catch crank arm. And I don't know, I just started doing this and I really like it, and it's a really easy modification that you can do. As you can see, I already have grip tape on this cranks, but I've been running it for a while, so I'm just gonna take it off and replace it. So it should just go like that, and it peels right off really easily. Alright, so what you want to do is just go to like any local skate shop or whatever, Zoomies, doesn't really matter, and you can pick up like just a thing of grip tape. This is Grizzly tape. I don't know, skaters seem to like it, seems pretty trendy, so I thought why the heck not. And what you want to do is take it over here, look at your crank, and kind of guesstimate the size of it. You really don't have to be too accurate because as long as it's on the top of the crank, it'll do fine. So it seems to be about that. It's probably like 1/2 inch thick. So I'm just gonna cut like a 1/2 inch strip using my scissors. Alright, so now I got my strip. Take it on the crank and kind of just like lay it down on there, and then just cut off the excess at the end. So like that much is going to be gone. Boom, that's good. Lay it on the crank, and then yeah, that's about good. So then what you want to do is trim off maybe a little bit more so it's not as thick. Start from the bottom. What I do for mine is kind of like guesstimate like the shape of the crank because it kind of like tapers in towards the pedal. Yeah, that's perfect. So then just peel it back. Like so. And then just seriously just lay it on top of the crank. Alright, now you can see the tape is laid right on top of it, and it looks like it's flush, but what sometimes happens is your foot will kick it off. So what you want to do is take the edge of your scissors and then just kind of like push it in like that, and just scrape it on, scrape down the edge of the tape, and what that does, it kind of like really presses it in so then it won't peel off. So like that. There you go. Don't forget to do it on the back as well. Just make it all nice and flush with the crank. Boom. And you might scratch your cranks, but oh well, they're cranks. It's not the end of the world. So that's the second modification of my bike. Really like it. It really seems to help out, and you won't be slipping off. And then like a cool thing about this one is, or actually a cool thing about both of these will last forever. So that rubber washer, the one I just took off, I think I've been riding that washer for about 2 years now. Even when I had brakes, I had it in there just to like keep my pedals from, or my cranks from spinning around. And then like, look how much grip tape I still have. So even if this piece of tape like lasts you a month or so, you still have a full sheet of grip tape that's gonna last you forever. And it peels off really easy, and it took me like 30 seconds to do that. So those are just two of them that I highly suggest that just kind of like help me out. And the third one is the most important. The third, final, and most important modification that I do to my bike is always having fresh lens stickers on not only the top tube, but also on the head tube. This keeps your bike looking steezy, clean, and you know, it's subtle, but it's just nice. It's nice quality, you know? So definitely keeping these. And then also another one that I just made is the YGT crossbar sticker. YGT is you got this. So whenever you're riding, you don't think you got it, you just look down, you got that boost of confidence. All 3 of these stickers are available on the website from lynn.com, and it's just a good thing to have. It comes free with every single order. Order a shirt, you get a pack of stickers, it's sick. Slap on your bike, post it on Instagram, tag me, and I'll be sure to repost it. Be sure to stay around for the next video because it's going to be sick. I'm heading out to that mystery skate park with my buddy Nathan, and we're going to shred it, and you'll finally see what I've had in store for this whole time. It's going to be sick, so stay tuned. Peace.